Welcome to the Weekly MindSweep number 229, Curated Conversation Visibility. You've been presenting. It's time to be seen. I have a document on my desktop that I haven't opened in 6 months. I can already picture a complete concept, a structure, and a room full of people. Creative entrepreneurs would gather in a space designed for how their minds work. It would be a safe space to share ideas, work through resistance, and get support from someone who understands the difference between a strategy problem and a nervous system challenge. I know how to build this. I've been building different versions of it and giving it away for free for years. And yet, whenever I get close to sharing my idea with others, I find something else that needs my attention first. There's always an email to answer, a client to help, or a newsletter to write about someone else's courage. For years, I've watched creative entrepreneurs go through this same struggle. I've named it, mapped it, and analyzed it as a consultant. There's always an offer sitting quietly in a folder or a great idea gathering dust in a Google Drive. Sometimes it's a LinkedIn bio rewritten over and over, hoping this version will finally make a difference while resistance drowns out the excitement of being seen. It's something that's ready, just waiting for the creator to finally step forward. I didn't fully understand what it cost until Curated Conversation Evolution became something I hadn't planned for. Curated Conversation started as a container I built for others, a place where I could facilitate, curate, and offer my consulting lens to people who needed it. The spotlight was directional, it pointed outward, and that felt safe. Then the community evolved. Members didn't just show up to receive, they started investing their time, money, and honest selves. And they started reflecting things back to me that I wasn't sure how to accept. My gifts, my strengths, and the way I helped people feel seen and less alone. I'm not always able to see that for myself. When others reflect it back, it lands somewhere tender and unfamiliar. Not because I don't believe them, but believing them means something is required of me. It means I have to be the person they're describing. That's what visibility actually is. Not the post, the platform, the perfectly worded offer. It's the moment when someone sees you clearly and you have to decide whether to stay in the room while they do. Authentic and present. I'm still figuring it out, but today I'm closer than ever. This month, we'll practice being visible together. So, what is visibility actually? Hint, it's not what most entrepreneurs think it is. Most of us were handed a version of visibility that looked like performance. Show up consistently, post more, be everywhere, project confidence even when you don't feel it, and especially in your business. That is not visibility. That is a costume. Real visibility is quieter and much more demanding. It's the space between your true self and the version you've shown to others. It's the distance between the offer you keep softening and the one you actually want to make. Between the price you quote and the one you know you are worth. Between the version of yourself you've been rearranging all year and whether you're willing to let anyone see her yet. And for creative entrepreneurs, that gap can feel enormous because you didn't just build a business. You built something that came from deep inside of you. Your ideas, your instincts, your way of seeing the world, which means being seen isn't just professional exposure, it's personal. For ADHD and neurodivergent entrepreneurs, that cost feels even higher. When your nervous system is already working overtime to manage uncertainty, resistance, and the relentless hum of tolerance, adding the threat of truly being seen can feel like one ask too many. In our community, we learned that tolerance is the space between reaction and response. We saw that resistance is strongest where we grow most. We also discovered that uncertainty isn't the enemy. It's just part of the process. Underneath our talks about shame, belonging, self-trust, and validation, the same question kept coming up. What happens if I show up fully and someone actually sees me? That question about being seen is the heart of visibility. And now it's time for us to unpack the suitcase of costumes together. Shrinking wasn't a choice you made. It was a response you learned. Here's what I know after years of watching creative entrepreneurs go through this. I know you can't change a pattern you haven't named. Most of us have lived with the visibility pattern for so long that it just feels like normal. It feels like part of our personality. It feels like who we are. But as Dr. Bruce Perry and Oprah Winfrey ask in one of our favorite books, What Happened to You? What if the most useful question isn't what's wrong with you, but what happened to you? What if the version of yourself that stays quiet, softens the offer, and steps back just before being fully seen isn't a character flaw, but a learned response to an old experience? Dr. Ingrid Clayton explores this in another book we loved, Fawning, with striking clarity. The need to manage perception, to stay palatable, to shrink just enough that no one is made uncomfortable by your fullness is an adaptive behavior. Whew, well, that's rude. It kept you safe once, and now it's keeping you small. Change begins with noticing, not in the fixing or forcing, but the noticing. Introspection is how we start to tell the difference between who we are and who we have learned to be. That's where this week begins. Awareness is always the first step. Like with all of our topics, the first week is about noticing. You can't work with what you can't see. Here are 5 places where visibility often hides for creative and neurodivergent entrepreneurs. Number 1, in your offers. You have something ready. Maybe it's been ready for a while, but you're still tweaking the language, adjusting the price, waiting for one more piece to fall into place before you share it. The offer isn't the problem. Visibility is. If intuition has been whispering that it's time and discernment keeps telling you the offer is ready, this is worth noticing. Number 2, in your pricing. You quoted a number last week and immediately softened it with an explanation, an apology, or a discount you didn't need to offer. Naming your price out loud without over-explaining is one of the most vulnerable acts in business. It says, this is what I'm worth, and I'm willing to find out if you agree. If value has felt complicated lately and comparison keeps pulling you toward what everyone else is charging, pricing is often where visibility is hiding. Number 3, in your content, you write and then rewrite and then water it down so it won't offend anyone, or you don't write at all because the blank page is asking you to take a stand. Having a perspective means someone might disagree, and that means being someone with opinions. This is resistance at its most clever, showing up as perfectionism and the need to be consistent. Number 4, in your body. Where do you feel the urge to shrink? For some, it's in the throat, the words that never get spoken. For others, it's in the chest, shoulders, or stomach. Your nervous system reacts to visibility before your mind does. Tolerance taught us that staying with the discomfort long enough to name it is how awareness starts. Introspection is what makes the naming possible. Number 5, in the document on your desktop. You know the one, the idea, offer, or piece of writing that's finished or almost finished, but it hasn't moved for weeks. It's not that it isn't ready. You might not be sure you're ready to share it. That is where self-trust and permission wait quietly for you to catch up to what you already know. One brave step this week. You don't have to open the document, just name what's in it. You don't have to hit send. You don't need to resolve anything this week. Here's the one brave step. Name the thing. Not out loud necessarily, and not to anyone that will hold you accountable to it before you're ready. Just to yourself, in writing, with as much specificity as you can manage. The thing I've been almost ready to share is the story I tell myself about why it isn't time yet is what it would mean about me if I shared it anyway is. That's it. Just name it. You can't work with what you can't see, and you can't be truly seen until you're willing to look at yourself first. I'm doing the work alongside you this week. The document on my desktop has a name. This week, I'm writing down what it would mean about me if I finally shared it. Not sending it or announcing it, just letting it be real on paper. That's my brave step. I hope you'll take one too. My questions for you this week. Where do you feel the pull to shrink? In your body, in your business, in the moments just before you share something that's fully yours? What is one thing that you've built, written, or imagined that is ready, even if you are not? You belong here. I can help. Understanding your brain is one thing, Building a business that actually works with it is another, and that's where I come in. As a brain-based business strategist, I work with creative and neurodivergent entrepreneurs who are tired of forcing themselves into systems that were never designed for the way they think. Together, we build strategies rooted in how your brain actually operates, not how productivity culture says it should. If you ever thought, I know what to do, I just can't seem to do it, that's not a willpower problem. It's the exact kind of problem I help solve. And it all starts with one conversation. You can book a free consultation at chickbookcreative.com. Let me tell you about Curated Conversation because now you've read it, we'd love for you to come sit in it. And the costume is coming off in June. Come as you are. Every Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a small group of heart-centered entrepreneurs gathers inside Curated Conversation Evolution to do exactly this. Name the hard things, borrow each other's nervous systems, and practice being seen in a space that just knows how to hold it. June is our month on visibility. Your first month is free. Come find out what it feels like to be in the room where it's safe to say the thing out loud. Listen if you want, speak when you're ready, stay if it feels like home. Mondays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we start with coffee, and belonging is included. You can learn more about Curated Conversation and book your free consultation at chickbookcreative.com.